Hey everyone, and welcome. Get ready because today we're going on an awesome adventure across our home, planet Earth. We're going to explore the deep blue oceans and the massive continents we all live on. You ready for this? Let's go. When the very first astronauts went up into space and looked back, this is what they saw. It was just this breathtaking, beautiful blue marble. They were so amazed they gave our home a nickname, the Blue Planet. Looking at this, you can totally see why. So what's all that blue? It's water, of course. And it covers almost 3/4 of our entire world. I mean, just think about that for a second. If you could slice the Earth into 4 pieces like a pizza, 3 of those slices would be covered in water. That is a lot of water. So yeah, our planet's surface is really all about these two main things, these huge bodies of water and these giant pieces of land. Let's break down what they actually are. It's pretty simple, really. The vast bodies of salt water, we call those oceans. And the huge, continuous stretches of land, those are the continents. But here's the cool part. They don't just sit next to each other. Nope. They're constantly working together, shaping everything about our world, from the weather we get to all the amazing forms of life on Earth, including us. All right, first up, let's grab our scuba gear and take a deep dive into that big blue underwater world. The oceans are just packed with mystery and wonder, so come on, let's go explore. Okay, so we usually talk about 5 big oceans, right? You've got the enormous Pacific, the busy Atlantic, the warm Indian, the super cold Southern, and the chilly Arctic up top. But here's an amazing secret. They're not really separate at all. They're all connected. They flow into each other to make one single, gigantic world ocean. How cool is that? And this one world ocean is absolutely bursting with life. Seriously, it's home to some of the most incredible creatures you can even imagine. You've got powerful predators like this shark. And then you have these true gentle giants like sperm whales just gliding silently through the deep blue. And even what I like to call ancient mariners, like this beautiful sea turtle. Their ancestors have been swimming in these same oceans for millions of years. It really is a whole other world down there. I mean, it all looks so calm and beautiful, right? But the very same oceans that support all this amazing life, they also hold some seriously unimaginable power. So are they always this peaceful? Well, the answer is a big, definite no. Oceans can create these incredibly powerful storms and cyclones that can cause so much damage. And sometimes, if there's an earthquake deep under the sea, it can trigger a tsunami, which is a series of massive, super powerful waves. A really tragic example of this was the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. It was just devastating for so many countries and a reminder of the raw power the ocean really has. Okay. Let's shake the water out of our ears and get back on solid ground. It's time to start our trek across the continents. The place where we all live. All right, I've got a question for you. It sounds simple, but the answer is surprisingly tricky. How many continents are there? You might think you know the answer right away, but it's actually a fun little puzzle. Believe it or not, depending on who you ask, the answer could be 4, 5, 6, or even 7. So why? Well, it all depends on how you look at it. Some geographers, for instance, see Europe and Asia as one giant landmass called Eurasia because they're on the same tectonic plate. Others might group North and South America together. It's all about perspective. But look, while there are these other ways to count, the 7-continent model is the one that's used the most all around the world. That's Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica, Europe, and Australia. So 7. 7 is the magic number to remember. Now, these continents are definitely not all the same size, not even close. Asia is the biggest by a long shot, with Africa coming in second. And then, way down at the other end, you've got the smallest continent, Australia. So, what about all those other bits of land that aren't big enough to be called continents? Well, we call those islands. An island is just a piece of land that's completely surrounded by water. There are hundreds of thousands of them out there. But the biggest island in the whole world is Greenland. Okay, so we've looked at the oceans and we've explored the continents. But now for the most amazing part, how they work together. It's like a perfect team in perfect balance to make all life on Earth possible. Let me give you 2 incredible examples of how they're connected. First, the water cycle. The oceans give us the water that turns into clouds, which then travel over the continents and give us rain. Without the oceans, the land would just be a dry desert. And second, oxygen. Tiny little plants in the ocean, called phytoplankton, produce more than half, let me say that again, more than half of the oxygen that we all need to breathe. Wow. This incredible balance is what keeps our planet alive and thriving. And you know what that means? It brings us to our most important job of all. We have to protect it. Here's a really powerful way to think about it. The oceans are often called the planet's lungs. Why? Well, just like our lungs give us oxygen, the oceans give the whole planet oxygen. It means every single breath you take, no matter how far away you live from a beach, is connected to the health of our oceans. But right now, our planet's lungs are in trouble. Every year, millions and millions of tons of plastic waste get dumped into the oceans, and it's really harming the animals that live there. At the same time, we're doing something called overfishing. We're catching fish way faster than they can have babies and reproduce. Both of these things are a huge threat to the entire underwater world, and that throws the whole planet out of balance. So let's end with this one thought. The oceans give us the water we drink. They give us the air we breathe. They give us this incredible diversity of life that makes our world so amazing. They basically give us, well, everything. So the big question for all of us is, what are we going to give back? Thanks for coming along on this amazing journey with me today.